I'm kind of frustrated with myself because these past 3 days I've been nothing but a little bit of a couch potato. It's like I do something in the daytime, just one thing, and then it's like I just go to bed and plop, and my whole day goes by and I get nothing done. It's frustrating because I like to be productive, but given my current state with the matters that I have been sharing with you guys, I need to be getting things done. But I just decided to slow down now because when I think about it, I had a pretty agitated past 3 months. So for me to just slow down and not be perfect, living up to my own expectation, is something that maybe I just need, and maybe this is the opportunity for me to learn such a thing. So anyway, I just saw posted on social media while I was responding to somebody was, if you had a reset button for your life, would you press it? The way that I'm interpreting that is, if life as you know it, you could just push the reset button and everything about it just goes back to maybe the beginning, would you go back in time and experience something different? And this was super easy for me to answer. The answer is no. Boom, end of the video, roll credits. But then I thought about it a little deeper. My answer is still no, but from the perspective of, if I were to push that reset button, would I stay in my current timeline? Am I going to continue to reside in 2024? Or would this take me back to my birth and I would restart everything from there? Or does this mean that in 2024, when I press that button, up until this point, only the memories I have acquired will reset, but then I will remain in this time? Because if that's the case, then even more would I say no, but on top of it, I would say hell no. And it's interesting because when I think about it, the things that I express, the things that I talk about, the things that hurt me and whatnot, one would think that I wouldn't hesitate to want to reset, to want a redo possibly. But precisely today, I experienced 2 instances at work that let me know that that is something that I just wouldn't be able to do, because despite everything I have gone through and everybody has gone through, I don't wish to really escape from it. I just wish to address it so that I can move forward from here on out. I have never really wished that, say, my adolescence, which is a big portion of where I can say my depression truly began and truly began to show and truly began to shape me, all of that. I don't really wish to go back to that time. I feel like I lost the time, sure, that makes me salty to an extent, but I don't necessarily crave going back to those times and improve on what I needed, if that makes sense. Say, maybe had I begun driving at 16, things would have been different. All I need is to either have my mom make more money, somehow have that change for her, or live in a timeline in which my parents are together, and therefore with 2 managers, 2 incomes, that would have been possible. Editing Zam. But if I had a strong desire to go back and change that, I almost feel like by me doing that, I'm saying that poverty, the lack of resources that I was raised in, was unacceptable. And in the same manner that I didn't have it as bad as other people have it, I also did not have it as good as other people have it. But that is nothing to be embarrassed about. The fact that I wasn't invested in due to a lack of resources, if I keep a mentality in which I'm desiring for a do-over, because that clearly affected me badly, it's as if I'm saying, I am not acceptable. I cannot accept myself. I cannot accept my mom, for example, because of that. Therefore, immediately when I go back, I'm going to desire to not be in circumstances in which that stuff was there affecting me. Therefore, I want to help my mom be richer or keep my parents together, something like that. I absolutely love the person I am, with my issues, with my flaws, with my anxiety, with my frustrations, with my disappointments, with my pain, with my physical issues, everything. And had it not been for those experiences in the past that I was brought up in, I would have lost that. And even if you were to tell me I would have gotten a better version of that, I don't think better suits me. This is the way things were supposed to be. Those things that forged my character and also gave me the character flaws that I have are what I needed. Because if I successfully get through that, then the folks who are cursed with this, maybe I'm the one being used as an agent to repair those things. And after the experience I had today, I can see it. I didn't choose that. I didn't decide that. But I'm glad that I had the experiences I had to be able to recognize that might be my purpose. And if that is, I'm embracing it. And again, a lack of resources sucks for anybody. But it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's not something that you need to curse upon. Oh my God, I was poor and therefore my opportunities were limited and therefore it affected my enjoyment of life. Nothing like that. Do I wish I would have had certain opportunities? Of course. But I don't want to make it seem like being in those circumstances is inherently unacceptable and embarrassing. It isn't. And most importantly, I don't want to go back and miss out on the people I know in my present. The way that I met some people, had I not suffered, there is no way I would be appreciating their presence in my life right now. And that right there is the most important reason why I would never reset my life. Because when I think about the people I really appreciate and cherish in my life currently, I don't want to be without them. And if I change anything at all in my life by resetting my life, they're gone. There's no way they make it into my story. And I don't want that. Even if you were to tell me that I'll meet better people or that I'll meet worse people who are going to give me more strength and power than I already obtained through the bad people I have met, I don't want to change it. I feel like if I were eager to reset my life, it makes me feel like I am not accepting of my life. The best way to rephrase that would be, my life is only worth living under certain conditions. And that is not ever at all what I want to project. All I'm trying to express here is, these are the events going on in my life. This is how I reacted to it. These are the effects. And how will I, again, go forward with this, from this? And I've never really been someone who ever wishes to just completely retake something. I was never that kid who failed tests and things. So I guess I'm just not used to the idea of retaking a course, retaking a lesson, retaking an opportunity, anything like that. It's something happens. Whenever that chapter is over, I just let it go and continue on. The only thing I can say ever gave me the opportunity for a retry, a redo, was video games. Video games are fictional. They are not conducive to anything in life except entertainment. I, in real life, have never really had an opportunity to be someone who does things over to make it better, to pass a level, to achieve something. I'm not familiar with that. And there was a brief period in which I can say that I was obsessing so much about the past that it was affecting my present and by extension, my future. I always thought about the ways that things should have been different that I think would have made things better for me. But I have never really attempted to be like, I really need to go back in time and change this and get that and start this instead and talk to so and so a little sooner, postpone this and that. Nothing like that. I think that everything happens in God's timing, whether I like it or not. It's just going to be the way it is. The reason I say it like that is because I want to say I was probably a middle schooler. That's when I became convinced that life is kind of pre-written the way I see it. And the reason I believe in that is because there's just a lot of things that have happened that are so improbable that there is no way that they should have happened if it hadn't been pre-planned, pre-orchestrated. I don't feel like some of these things are possible by just the process of things, if that makes sense. It just feels like in the background somewhere, someone or something is managing all of this. Kind of like nature. You know how nature tends to follow a little bit of a pattern? Well, I feel that existence, for me as a human being with this consciousness, also requires a level of an orchestra, something that was rehearsed. And I know that a lot of people would not believe in that. And I understand, because I used to be someone kind of skeptical about that. My mom was the one who gave me that belief and idea. And then I just thought about it on my own. And the more I thought about it, it just made more sense. And now I'm just able to apply my own sense and knowledge of things, what I believe I have knowledge on. And I just feel like there's more evidence to suggest that there's more order to things, more than me actually creating my own path, my own destiny, my own fate. I know that for everything and everyone else, it just seems like, okay, you're just thrown here, you have a limited time, you gotta do with it what you will, so on and so forth. But when I think about everything that we inherit from ancestors and even culturally, I just really think it feels more like an orchestrated thing. And I guess I'll continue to think about that I just shared and maybe make it an official topic. But I mentioned that just so that you could get an idea of where I stand with certain beliefs. And even if I did not believe that fate is already pre-written, if I think about it differently, I feel like it makes life meaningless. So I look at it as I inherited someone else's agenda, and I'm just a piece fulfilling side quests on it, but I'm not the main quest. What is the main quest? I'm not sure, but I just know that it's not entirely me. Today was an interesting day because I had one person make a mention of this, but one person legit dive into it. And it was people who are sharing with me their struggles. And what makes it significant is that it's very evident that this is a very private matter for this individual. They said that they felt comfortable enough to share it with me because they understand that I will be discreet. And it just means a lot, because discretion is one of those things I have mentioned before that means a lot to me. And it is because of situations like this. What this person is going through is something I went through, and discretion is something that I was craving really bad because it helps ease the burden. But when someone doesn't provide that and respect that, it can create a whole mess. And it's just interesting to see that I guess now I have entered a season in which I have to be the provider of that as opposed to the receiver of that. And I'm happy. I'm here for it. Whom better than me? So in a sense, I had to like calm my Leo down, because immediately I could feel my sense of, I know exactly what you're going through. I know this and that and the other. And even if I'm right, because I did entertain some of my thoughts and ideas and shared it with the person and they responded to it in an affirmative way, I don't want to feel controlling of that matter. And that is something that I have personally struggled with. I like to be someone who's a controller because I'm pretty freaking good. Why wouldn't I? What is the point of me practicing and preparing for things if I'm just going to sit there and do nothing with my abilities and talents and whatever the fuck? Most importantly, the preservation of order and discipline. I am a believer in those things, and I like to also be someone who executes those things. So now it's like I'm understanding portion sizes, portion control. And once you discover that, it's nice. I feel comfortable in this current role that was assigned to me that I didn't ask for, but maybe it's something I need because maybe now it's time for me to put myself to the test. What I have learned, now it's time to pass it on. All right, that's it. I'll see you soon.